Hello and welcome to your final Talking Game of the year, as we're going to be doing the preview for West Ham against West Brom, the first game of the year. Before we get started, we've got our votes as usual on the night. It's only £1 entry for anybody. So if you're a member of Hammer's Chat, you're not a member, adult or child, it's £1 to get in. Link is in the description below. So come along and we'll see you there before the game, hopefully. But Gonzo, as always, what's your thoughts on our opponents?
Well, they've just finished playing. They just finished playing Arsenal. Pardew's gone in. I think he's looked to get them a little bit more tactically sharp defensively. They've had a series of 0-0 draws. They've had just got the 1-1 draw with Arsenal. They're a big team. They simply lack a bit of creativity in the middle. Got good centre-backs in Higazi, who's just a big old brute, isn't he, really? Johnny Evans, who positions his body really well. Amazingly, teams seem prepared to pay big bucks for Johnny Evans. I mean, sort of for upwards of 30 million. Their main guy, Rondon, didn't play today. I don't know how that is going to affect them for when they play us. What I noticed were quite a lot of long balls, a lot of crosses. I think we're going to see a lot of crosses from them. Didn't bother Arsenal too much because they had little Jay Rodriguez in the middle, trying to get on the end of them for a lot of time. And some half-decent wide men. Phillips, McLean came on. I think Chadley is injured. And the interesting stat that I just found out is we're coming to the end of the year. In 2017, they have only had 7 wins, 7 Premier League wins.
They've not won in 18 Premier League games and they're coming to West Ham. I like what Pardew's doing there. The problem is he's got Tony Pulis' squad, and you cannot fit a Tony Pulis mentality and squad into an Alan Pardew game plan. I feel a bit sorry for Pardew, actually. They're playing not bad football. The results recently do not reflect how they're playing. I think they've been harshly done by the results. I think what they're lacking is a goal scorer, just someone to stick in the back of the net. That's all they're lacking. If they can get one in January, they might be okay. I'll ask you that in a minute. But you're right. They do, like under Pardew, they have been getting it wide. They have been getting the crosses in. On paper, it looks like this should be like a dead cert home win, if you like. But I don't think I don't think the results do them any good. But Gonzo, do you think if they get a goal scorer, they might stay up, or do you think they're just lacking just enough quality and they're going to fall through that trapdoor?
Well, I watched this down. I totally agree what you said. When Pardew was at Palace, he brought in Kabay straight away. He likes someone creative in the middle, Pardew, and I think he'd probably want to get that sorted as well as getting a goal scorer. As far as them staying up or not, it's unbelievable what's going on in the Premier League. Normally, there's one really crap team, and they just go down, or they just plummet. And you look at Sunderland, or choose your example over recent years. I think any one of those at the bottom possibly could stay up. You look at Swansea yesterday. They got the new manager. They come in and they get a bounce, and they look like, with Jordan Ayew, they look like they're attacking quite well. So I wouldn't place any money on anyone staying up at the moment. A goal scorer would help them. And I think Pardew is a streaky manager. Pardew's got enough in his locker, but there's a lot of competition. A lot of competition now.
I think there's 3 or 4 teams need a goal scorer, and they're all down the bottom, and that's what's going to make this window a bit mental. I think there's only going to be 1 or 2 good ones available, and the other 2 are going to have to take a gamble and go somewhere else for their striker. But there's only going to be 1 or 2 Premier League proven strikers you can get in, and it's a case of whoever gets one of those strikers might just stay up. And I think if West Brom can get one, who that striker is, I don't know. I don't know who's available, but if West Brom can get one, it might be okay. But there's only so long you can keep doing decent performances and not getting results before your time just runs out, unfortunately. And hopefully it goes 1 more game. But West Brom, is there final question on West Brom? Is there anyone you fear for Tuesday night? You just watched them, you've seen what they're all about. You might rotate. It's the one advantage we've got is they played today and then they played Tuesday. We've had a week's rest. So
this is huge. That's huge. I really do think so. Then they've got to travel as well for it. So it's. I also think in terms of mental freshness as well. So whilst I haven't been partying, they would have been in training, but they also because the game is a home-based game as well. They've had a few days off over the Christmas period to spend with their families or do whatever they're doing. They will come back mentally fresh, our players. West Brom have just had a hectic schedule. Don't get me wrong, we'll pay for it next week and beyond when we're playing Shrewsbury and Tottenham and all that in a row. We'll suffer then. But now is their turn to suffer, and I just cannot help but think that just fatigue, both physical and mental fatigue, is going to knock them down by, 5-10%. And when you're a team as low down as they are, well, 5-10% makes a difference. Do I fear anyone? No, they seem handy enough. But I look at their central midfield like I do with us. I looked at Livermore and Barry in there, and Chris Brunt, who seems to be there forever. And I didn't find it very inspiring, which is why I thought that he seemed to Matt Phillips. I mentioned him the other day. I think he's a very tricky player. I liked him when he was at it was Blackpool, wasn't it? Was pushed back in a wing back role, and I think McLean, who's a nasty little shit, isn't he? So no one likes him really. He can be creative. I don't really fear anyone apart from maybe that Higazi from a set piece or something like that, which is why I hope we'll get on to West Ham in a second. Obviously, I hope he doesn't go for Andy Carroll, because they won't be bothered by Andy Carroll. Yeah.
The thing I fear most by West Brom actually is part of his game plan. I think getting it wide and crossing is actually probably our weakness, arguably. You've got Zabaleta on one side who struggles against pace. Luckily, West Brom don't really possess much, but they do have Ollie Burke. So if Pardew switches it up and puts Burke out there, Zabaleta could be in for a long game. Then we've got Masuaku on the other side, who is, we all know his weakness is defending. So they continue to get the ball wide and whip it in. You saw against Bournemouth, some of their goals come from crosses. Their second goal came from a cross. Their third goal, which shouldn't have stood, it still come from a cross. So that's the thing I feel the most. But let's talk about West Ham. Gonzo, surely it's time for a striker, and arguably one striker in particular.
Well, you just mentioned about these clubs at the bottom, several clubs that need a goal scorer, and you even said a proven Premier League goal scorer. We've got one. We've got at least one, but we do have one. We have one that played for Man United and Real Madrid and scored loads of goals for both. He has to find a way to make it work. It'd be absolutely ridiculous if we didn't. We need goals, and he's got to find a way to get him into the team, really.
Yeah, so would you start him then, yeah?
Yeah, I've written a team down if you want to hear
it. Go through your front, not your defence, ignore your back five, but your front five.
Well, the front five in many respects. So sat in front of the defence would be Noble and Rice. I'm going to put Rice in there. You made a great point in a cup of tea. You said you felt that the problem was in front of the defence a lot of the time. I think Rice will help that out there. He's got natural defensive tendencies, and he's pretty good technically passing it as well. So I put him with Noble. So obviously I'm dropping Kiate and Obiang. And then I would basically play Lanzini and Arnie up as almost a two just behind Chicharito, and give them free roles. They can go where they want, because I'd like to think with the sort of the back five plus Noble and Rice sat in front of them, it's got to be enough to keep West Brom out and stop them from scoring. So, as I say, give Arnautovic and Lanzini a bit of a free rein behind Chicharito and tell them, instruct them, get close to him. Get close to him.
Yeah, I would play Hernandez as well. I'd probably play Arnautovic up top alongside him, to be honest. I'd play the two of them up front. I'd actually drop Lanzini to centre midfield alongside Rice. If Noble makes it that different, but Noble at the minute is 50-50 and Antonio is ruled out, just for those that don't know the team use. Noble's so. And Moyes did his conference 2 days ago. He hadn't joined training, but I think he was away too. So we don't know if he'll make it. If he does, I'd put him in alongside Rice and Lanzini in ahead of him. But if he doesn't make it, I would just drop Lanzini in beside Rice. Who goes in the attacking midfielder role? I'm not that sure. We don't have many options. Or what I'd maybe do is take Zabaleta in beside Rice and push Lanzini up. And then that brings me to my next question. Would you change the right wing back for this one? Because Zabaleta has been targeted the last two games. He's struggled the last two games. He got subbed in the last one because he was struggling so bad. Or do you think that West Brom they're not quite quick enough to cause them problems?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. And when I wrote my team down, I wrote the team down before I watched the West Brom game. So I initially had thought maybe Oxford could go in there. Bear in mind he's been playing in that role in Germany. Having said that, I've just watched the game and they had Robson Kanu, who I always thought he was a striker actually, but anyway, he was playing on the left, so it didn't Not for this one, I think, and unless, as you say, they got this Burke fellow. That was the boy that was at Nottingham Forest and then went to Germany, right?
Yeah.
Unless they do pull him out, I think he can. I think Zabaleta can handle either Robson Kanu or McLean, so I'd leave him in place for this one.
Yeah, well, I'm so. I mean, to be fair, if it wasn't Zabaleta, would you like to see Oxford in the squad, at least on the bench? Would you like to see him involved?
Definitely, because I just think he'd be completely demotivated if he doesn't.
What about your back three then? You've written your squad down. I think he played the three you wanted to see at Bournemouth. When that was leaving out Reed, but we've conceded three again. So would you change up again, or would you stick with it and put down to individual errors? Or
yeah, I'm dropping Cresswell for this game, and I'm putting in Reed, Ginge, and Ogbonna, because I do expect crosses to come over and plenty of them. If Rondon's not playing, well, whatever. If Rondon's not playing, it should be an easier day for us because Jay Rodriguez isn't very big. If Rondon is playing, even more reason to have Reed, Ginge, and Ogbonna in the middle.
yeah, I would probably go along with that. I feel bad actually because I think Cresswell's only had one bad game, so it's almost like you're punishing him for just. It wasn't even one bad game; it was one or two bad errors, and that was it during the 90 minutes. I feel bad, but at the same time, like you said, it's about height for this game. Actually, I'd probably bring Cresswell back in against Spurs because it's more football on the deck type thing. But for this one, it really is just balls on the box, and you want your three best headers in there just to get rid of that thing. So I would have it. I would go with what you're saying there. Our charity bet, however, for this one is West Ham to win 2-0, so 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. And Arnautovic to score again, so to get his 6th and 6. And Neom to get a card for West Brom. Now, he didn't start today, so for the charity bet, what we do with Betway, you can't do this, unfortunately, but for the charity aspect, if the teams come out and he's not starting, I message Betway and say, can we switch it to this player? And they usually go, yeah, that's okay. For your charity one, that's fine. But that's 14-1 anyway, so lots of money going to charity if that bet comes in. Gonzo, New Year, New West Ham. Are you confident for this one?
Well, I am quite confident, but not. No, not the first bit. Not New Year, New West Ham. No, as an individual fixture, yeah, I am quite confident because of the fatigue levels. I think that's asking a lot of any team to have 1 day's rest, and I think we'll be highly motivated. And I think they'll be quite motivated. They'll be quite buoyed. They'll be pleased because. You know, it looked like they were going to lose that game. It was boring for anyone who didn't watch it. It was totally boring for 85 minutes. And then Arsenal got a goal, and then there was a handball decision, and it was 1-1. You know, right at the end of the game. So they'll be pleased. That will feel like a victory to them. So they'll be in a good mood. But I just think the fitness thing and the travel and all that will just be a little bit too much. So I'm quite confident to win. Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying, but earlier you said fatigue accounts for 10%. Mentality fatigue accounts for 10%. But the way they got that draw today, it would feel like a win for them, getting that late equaliser and stuff. So if he was to rotate the team slightly, 3 or 4 players, and then today's draw essentially overrules that 10% fatigue because they get that 10% mentality boost. So would that make you a bit less confident, or are you still quite?
No, I am, because I meant what I said about the mental thing, but I think the physical factor is huge. It is huge, and it's going to be really on a day when a lot of people are going back to work, and they're not coming down by TARDIS or anything like that. They're going to be coming down on a coach. The roads are going to be absolutely mental. They're going to sit in traffic. So it's not even. It's almost less than that gap seems. They're going to spend half that day. It's a night kickoff. I'm saying they're going to be leaving the Midlands at 11 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and sitting on a coach and stopping off. I just think it's all. I really do. I don't go in for much like that, but I just think the Premier League schedule will hit West Brom heavy in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was just asking for the sake of the video. I do think just 1 24-hour pure day rest is just a bit. It's harsh. I mean, we've got, like you said, every club's got this. It's not just West Brom. It's not going to be just West Ham when we play Spurs. Every team's got it. Teams have played Saturday and they're playing tomorrow, which is Monday. But I do think they're just going to struggle a little bit for it. They've just got no firepower. I mean, watch them banging 3 against us now, but they've just got no goal scorer. Jay Rodriguez, Christ, I used to think he was shit hot at Southampton, had his injury, now he's dog shit. I don't know what's happened to him. Robson Kanu, he was free for a reason. I know he played good for Wales in the Euros, but he was still free for a reason. And other Premier League clubs looked at him when he was doing well and went, well, nah, we're still not taking him for free. I feel a bit sorry for them. They just need that one striker fit up front that can put the ball in the back of the net. So I'm confident. I think we're going to see boring game, this one. I think Moyes is going to do what he did against Chelsea. To keep a clean sheet and we can't lose with that sort of mentality, and hope that with the firepower he's got, we'll get a goal at the end, which we should. With that firepower we do have, we should be good enough to snatch a goal or two. We should be able to do smash and grab. It's not what we want to see at home to West Brom. I think it's what Moyes is going to set up to do, though. Fun, not so fun fact, the referee is Mike Jones. He's never shown a red card in a West Ham or a West Brom game, 30 games in total. And only Phil Dowd, if you remember him, that fat referee, Phil Dowd is the only referee to ref more West Ham games and not show a red card. So that's your fun, not so fun fact for this one. But Gonzo, you're pretty confident. Actually, not yet. Before I get Gonzo's score prediction, we've done a new video on the channel, completely different. Myself and Charlie, thanks to him, who did a great help for me. It's on your screen right now. It's sort of it's a new series called Hammers Chat Insight, and we're looking at centre midfielders at West Ham and the ones we've been targeted from a statistical point of view. Stats aren't for everyone, but they are for me. But Gonzo, let's get your stat. Goal scorer. What's your
prediction and goal scorers. I'll do both.
Go wild.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's a New Year's special. So we'll go with 2-0 West Ham. I think Arnautovic is going to score again, and I think Lanzini will score as well.
I'm going to say 1-0 West Ham, Arnautovic as well. I think this is going to be bold. I think it's going to be one of the worst games of the year, and it's only just starting. But let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you aren't already, come on to our forum, hammerschat.com, and interact with all the West Ham fans over there. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. And we will see you on the 2nd of January, straight after the game, because I ain't going, because I've got work the next day and I live 550 miles away. So I'm not going to this one. So we'll catch you for the review on Tuesday night.